NBA DFS picks and lineup advice, tips, strategies, you name it. FanDuel, DraftKings, Yahoo. Tonight's three-game slate. Thursday, FanDuel, DraftKings, Yahoo. Three-gamer. No plug on OccupyFantasy.com, but we had to bring our NBA team here to help you out with tonight's slate. You guys know me. I'm Brian Jester, FF. I may have been cashed in the big NBA GPP last night, but I am not the NBA expert here. That's why I'm bringing Boyle and Nick here. Boyle, it's been a while, man. It's good to have you back this season. You're now the NBA manager at OccupyFantasy.com. Welcome back, dude.
Yeah, thank you. It has been a while. I think the last one we did here was probably the first week of NBA.
I
So
think so,
we took
yeah.
a backseat for NFL for a while, but I'm glad once that's or NFL starting to slow down a little bit. So I'm happy to be back.
Happy to be back too. And new face, but if you're in our Discord server, you know all about him. It's Jayhawk in Discord. Nick Edwards here, our new NBA writer. Nick, what's up, buddy? Glad to have you on board.
Yo, I appreciate you guys having me on here. It's a pleasure to be on here. Got a per game kind of short, but I feel like we got a lot of ways we can go on this slate, and excited to break it down. I've been writing articles for a year now. Just came on Occupy within the past like month or two, and I'm excited to keep writing articles for you guys. So let's get it.
Hell yeah, let's get it. So again, I'm not the expert. Boyle and Nick are. So I'm gonna fade into the background here. Boyle's gonna take over. And if you guys have questions throughout the show, you see the live chat box over there on the right of the YouTube screen. Throw your questions in. Boyle and Nick will answer them. We'll be here till about 6 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you like what we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get notified when we go live, upload any new videos. Give us that thumbs up. If you want to see more NBA content, definitely let us know. Comment on the video after it's over, or let us know in the chat that you want to see more of these NBA live streams. So, with that said, I'm out. Boyle, it's on you.
Oh yeah, so this is gonna be my first time hosting, so obviously bear with me here. But now, so we're gonna start off with the injuries for tonight. So it's only a 3-game slate, so we thought it would be easiest to break it down like this since there's no plug. So basically, the big injury news for tonight: Suns don't have Ayton and Kaminsky again. We're probably going to see McGee to start. Draymond and Otto Porter are both out for the Warriors. Obviously, that's an increase to Kuminga, as he's probably going to start again. The Pacers are a full-out shit show, so I'm going to have Nick break that down in a little bit for you, just because we have Sabonis and Turner out, with Brogdon and LeVert now questionable. So that's a big edge for tonight. I'm going to let Nick go into that in a second. And then just the final injury for tonight, we have Devontae Graham is questionable. Personally, I like Alexander Walker if he sits. But again, I'm going to pass it over to Nick in a little bit. So first off, Nick, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit more? Talk about what sports you like to play, some of your biggest wins, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm primarily NBA and NFL, but I've dabbled in since COVID. I started dabbling in League of Legends, and they were that's kind of what brought me into Occupy as a whole, to the Discord and to all you, to Brian and Moose and all these guys, T Boyle, Garrett. But yeah, so I won a lot. I won like over 3-4 grand in League of Legends, but NBA has always been my top sport. Last year was my year for Russell Westbrook. Most of y'all know now. If you follow in Discord, Westbrook was my I'd be like, play him every night. But that's obviously not the case nowadays. He got benched recently. He's terrible. So.
Well, you replaced him with LaMelo Ball now.
Yeah, no, LaMelo. If he got the minutes, man, he would be a lock every slate. But I started to learn that his coach just doesn't trust him. But anyways, so yeah, we got a 3-game slate tonight. And looking into it initially, I didn't really love it just because I don't really like 3-gamers. But since this news came out, man, I think we got an edge on the slate. And yeah, so basically, we just got news that Brogdon and LeVert are both questionable. So Sabonis just got ruled out a couple hours ago. And I expect, for me personally, that LeVert and Brogdon both sit against the Warriors. And honestly, I would not be shocked if they just both sat them out. Probably not going to win anyways. The Warriors just are 2 levels ahead of them right now without Sabonis on the court. That's kind of their main facilitator. And so basically, for DFS wise, if those guys are both out, we're gonna look to Kiefer Sykes. He'd be my first option. He played a lot when both LeVert and Brogdon were both out. But the big one that I wanted to look at, and we Boyle and I both really like him tonight is Jeremy Lamb. Jeremy Lamb is about a 1.5 fantasy guy per minute, and he should pull the start here and play around, I don't know, like 25, 30 minutes. And he should match his price tag on both sides. If he does end up starting, we really like him. And I'll basically go into, so basically we'd put down this in the plug, but our core tonight is kind of building around Luka and Devin Booker. And then you can add in Randall, especially on FanDuel, where power forward is absolutely terrible. Like, there's no options at all. Yeah, you can put in Randall there as well. I can go into the Pacers real quick. So I had to rank them if LeVert and Brogdon are both out. I'd probably put them Lamb, Kiefer Sykes, Dwayne Washington if he plays, and then if for the big men on them, I really like. Right now, I have in my lineup. I have Lamb and Brissett. Brissett's honestly my favorite big guy for them. He's gonna have to play minutes. And
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think the whole Goga thing might be a trap in my opinion, just because he doesn't get that many minutes anyway, and then they're playing a smaller Warriors team, so I feel like that might be a trap, and most people might be falling into that. So sorry, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there too.
So the other, now since we went to the Pacers, the other elite value we have is for the Phoenix Suns. JaVale McGee is probably going to pull the start again. Actually, he will pull the start again. And we don't know his minutes because they brought in Bismack Biyombo, and he's been playing about 15, 20 minutes a night. And they also have Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith is a rookie coming out of college. He is actually a really good point per minute guy as well. But it's just very difficult to kind of see if McGee gets in foul trouble. He's not going to be that good of a value, but if he doesn't get in foul trouble, he's going to absolutely match his price tag. So it's kind of how you want to play this slate. I think McGee is probably a really good play as long as he avoids foul trouble. And if he doesn't get in foul trouble, man, he is going to crush that. So he's my favorite play from the Suns besides Booker. And then, yeah, I mean, you can fill in the rest of the pieces in your lineup. I think Josh Hart's a good mid-tier play at small forward. I think, who else is good there? And for the Suns too, I think Crowder and Bridges are good GPP plays as well.
Can move over to the chat for a sec. I see we have a couple of things piling up in there. So Pacers value going to be a huge blowout. We kind of went over Pacers value already. Nick ranked them. I think he gave us top 3.
Yeah.
You want to just say that one more time?
Yeah, for sure. I'd rank him probably Lamb number 1. He's the best point per minute guy for them. He should pull his start, but I would not be shocked if he came off the bench and got all the usage off the bench. So I'd probably go Lamb. And then number 2, if those guys are both out, I'd probably go with Kiefer Sykes. He's a pretty good fantasy point per minute guy. And then 3, I'd probably say, but Goga's probably on his, not Goga, sorry, Brissett. Brissett's probably on his own tier for big men though for them. He's probably my favorite big man for the Pacers. So
perfect. Okay. So we're gonna move on to the next question here. I think with all the value, it's a rare night to leave money on the table. So we were kind of talking about this before, but do you want to go in depth on this?
Yeah. So
before the stream, I mean, we were talking about this for a little while.
Yeah, so for sure. So it's definitely a night you can definitely leave money because you're probably, actually not probably, you're definitely going to have to late swap according to this Pacers news. For me personally, I'm probably just going to jam, those guys I said, Luka, Devin Booker, Randall, and then probably choose my value guys, whether it's JaVale McGee, Goga, Jeremy Lamb, Kiefer Sykes. I think you just kind of mix and match there. And then when you get that news, which we're probably not going to get till after this second game logs, then you can pivot to LeVert's end. He is a phenomenal play. I think he would absolutely crush his price tag regarding blowout if it doesn't blow out. And then I think if one were to sit and one were to play, it's got to be Brogdon sitting coming off an injury. He would be the one more likely to sit, but I think they both sit. So. Yeah, but LeVert, perfect. Great play if Brogdon sits. So
yeah, I agree. I have LeVert's usage with just Sabonis and Turner out. I have LeVert's usage at 36%.
Oh yeah,
it's only a 30-minute sample, but that's still insane.
Nah, when he gets the point guard role, besides when Brogdon has it, but when he plays point guard, he is a different animal. He is a great fantasy point per minute guy. He would be a lock in my lineups if he wasn't. The thing is, we just won't know that. So
Yeah, which I mean kind of leads me to my next question here. So if you're building like a high risk lineup tonight, right?
for sure.
Would you think it's smart to leave in space holders almost? With just like if you know it's either going to be one of the two value guards starting, would it be smart just to leave a space holder in there and then just make sure you're around at 9:30 to change it?
Yeah, I would just leave 3 guys from either Golden State or Indianapolis. At least 3 guys from that game you can pivot to, and definitely leave salary. Yeah, because you can obviously use all the salary, but that's gonna limit your moving around towards the end of the slate. Like so let's say LeVert plays, and you played Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, and Julius Randle. You're not gonna have any budget room, and you're gonna be playing all these value guys. But I mean, I just think it's very smart as a high risk player at least to just leave some money, just to have that ability to late swap because it could give you a massive edge. So.
Oh, perfect. So we have another question up in here. Let's see. How many more games do y'all think Clay will be limited? You can give your answer. I think he should be limited almost until the playoffs, but you can give your answer.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think he will. I don't know how many he's been playing. What, like 25, 26 minutes the last couple games? I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, he'll probably play around.
He's been shooting 25 or 26 shots a game, but like,
that's all he does, though, I feel like.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's all he does right now. Especially if he's trying to get back into it, I would just shoot the lights out.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get the play. I'm just not like, I wouldn't really go there. That's me personally. I think there's other options on the slate that are way safer. And blowout, I think Curry and Clay would be the first ones out and blowout, 100%. So.
100% agree. So I guess no questions right now. Overall tonight, low or high risk? What are you playing?
High risk, 100%. It's not. There's not enough clear cut value, like safe value, to go low risk tonight, in my opinion. This value right now is very high risk because we don't know what they're gonna do with the Phoenix value with Jalen Smith, Biyombo, all those guys. We don't know how they're gonna split those minutes. They have been. It's kind of like with LaMelo minutes. We can't trust their coach to put their best player out there 35 minutes. It's just their minutes are very not stable. And then for Indiana, yeah, we expect LeVert and Brogdon to most likely sit, but we don't know that. Just a guess, just a guess. So, I mean, it's kind of something you have to play on the slate. If you think they both play, they're both phenomenal plays. If you think they both sit, then you're gonna play the value guys. Specifically Sykes and Lamb. Goga and Brissett don't really take a difference. Like their usage isn't very much different if those guys sit. So.
Got it. Oh, perfect.
Just kind of make a plan for tonight and then leave salary and late swap. It's kind of how I would say. And be careful with the Phoenix value with center wise. Just be careful with that.
Yeah, I feel like you almost have to be on your computer at like 9:50 or so just to be making these swaps. If you can't do that, I mean, tonight's probably not the best night to play.
Oh, and I was gonna say if you don't want to play JaVale, you don't want to touch those other two centers for Phoenix either. I think Jonas Valanciunas is probably the safest center play on both sides. I think he's in a decent cash play if you're playing cash.
So we got a question in here from Nigel. Luka and Brunson, are they negatively correlated? So in the past couple of games, have they been kind of hot and cold, or can they play well together?
I personally don't like to play Brunson. I mean, I like to play Brunson when Kristaps and or Luka are out, just because he's the main guy in that offense. I probably wouldn't look there tonight as my first option. I think he's fine if he was like, all right, so I have my whole lineup done. All right, Brunson's my last piece in. That's fine. You can throw him in there, but I wouldn't like build around him or anything. Like he's not like a core play.
Perfect. Good answer there. Next question we have here. Is Fords against Dallas a thing? Could you make a case for Crowder or Bridges tonight?
I think they're very, very good at GPP plays. I would probably go with. I've always played Crowder when Aiden's been out, but I think Bridges probably is a little bit safer. But I would probably go Crowder than Bridges, especially at their price points. So rankings wise.
So you were mentioning earlier, you have a couple top plays here. It was you mentioned Booker, you mentioned Doncic, you mentioned Randall.
Yep.
So if you have to pick one of those guys and put your mark down on, he's my top stud play tonight. Who you picking?
It's got to be Luka. He's been playing. He had a really bad start to the year, but as of late, he's put up massive numbers. Last 2 games, he's had almost 60 fantasy points, and he's won. Studs are kind of not. I mean, there's not that ton on this slate with the safe floor. They should push the tempo. They're going to want to win against the Suns. The Suns are a great team. I think that's going to be a great game to target just in general with those guys. I
feel like with all the value as well, you can definitely jam him in there. I mean, as long as you're going some Pacers value, you can 100% fit him and more in there.
And I haven't decided personally how much salary I want to leave, but I mean, if you just let's say you play like a shooting guard like Kiefer Sykes or like Washington for Pacers, and if you leave like let's say you leave like $5,000, if that gets you up to like LeVert, and he ends up playing, and obviously it's very risky, but that would look genius and like, I mean, it's a very risky way to play it, but it's definitely possible because there's not that many studs on the slate. So.
Yeah. Perfect. And then we got a question from our own writer here, Chris. Would you play Randall at center on FanDuel where he's eligible?
I wouldn't. I think McGee and Joval are the preferred center plays. I think Randall I'd put at power forward just because McGee is only center eligible. Joval is only center eligible, so you can't play those guys if you play Randall at center. So yeah, put him at power forward. Power forward.
You like McGee and Joval enough that you're going to shift down Randall to power forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't put him at center.
Perfect. So we just did your top stud play. You said Luka. I get another one, but for value, just like your overall favorite, straight up value play for the night.
My favorite value play. It's got to be someone on the Pacers. I'm gonna say O'Shea Brissett. I think he's a very good player when he gets the minutes. I think he's way safer than Goga. Goga's only center eligible, so that already locks you up. You can't play McGee. You can't play Joe Val. I think you can put Brissett at small forward. Small forward is not that good. I think he's a very good point per minute guy. Sabonis is out, so yeah, I'd say Brissett's my favorite value play.
Perfect. The other thing with him is he's also more. He's going to be lower owned, I believe, because I don't think he's going to get the start. Right?
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. But he should get, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes off the bench, and he should match that price tag.
Between him and Lamb, I feel like that's a pretty good edge we have already. Yeah. You want to go more in depth on an edge? I know you were talking a little bit. You were texting me before we even got on here.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I got an edge for tonight. I want to say it.
Yeah, no, it was kind of what I was talking about earlier. Just I didn't expect both Brogdon and LeVert to sit. I'm gonna play them. Yeah, I was saying as they're both out. So I'm gonna play Kiefer Sykes. I'm gonna play Lamb. I'm gonna play Brissett. I'm gonna play Washington. All those guys. And on the odd chance that those guys all sit, I mean, we're just gonna ship everything as Occupy. I mean, we're just gonna absolutely ship everything. And it's kind of what you have to do on 3-game slates. I mean, there's not much leverage as it is. It's not like there's a 10-game slate and you can pick the good and bad value. Kind of like we know the value. It's not clear cut. Kind of you just got to play like, all right, so if these guys sit, I play these guys, blah, 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 you know?
Yeah, no, perfect. And speaking of 3-game slates, we have a question here. How many players from one team do you think is too many on a 3-game slate?
I'd never usually play 4. I usually only play 3 per team, and that's pretty much goes for every slate. Just because it's kind of hard for 4 people from the same team to get the value.
Let's say, assuming Brogdon and LeVert end up sitting, could you make a case that 4 guys from that last game could be in that GPP winning lineup tonight?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, if they both sit, yeah. And I think they probably will, yeah, for sure. Typically, I only want 3, but 4 is definitely, on a small slate like this, definitely possible. But
I mean, even if we're just looking at it like, if we go, let's say they're both out, I mean, you can even make a case for we can play Lamb, Brissett, one of those guards, and then run it back with even Curry, and then we can have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you have the salary, after playing Luka, Booker, Randall, if you can get up to Curry, I think he's a great play. Just be a little bit cautious. If those guys are both out, there's a very high likelihood that game blows out within the first half. And they'll instantly bench Curry. I don't.
Yeah.
Curry's played through the third quarter before. I would not be shocked if he plays through the third quarter. So it's probably a good play. If you have the salary, if you play those guys are out, you have the money. By all means, play Curry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the line right now. It's Golden State minus 1,000. The spread is Golden State minus 13.
Yeah.
So
that's
giving the Pacers 13 points here.
And that's expecting them to play LeVert and Brogdon. If you take those guys off the court, it's going to go up to almost minus 20, probably close to that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I mean, especially with Golden State. I mean, they're missing Draymond and Porter, but I mean, the way Kuminga's been playing, they're just going to plug him right in. Speaking of Kuminga, the question here: do you think Kuminga will be high owned with Otto out?
I think on DK he should be on. He's like 4,600 on DK. I think on FanDuel he's almost 6K. I think he'll be lower on there. I think I saw him coming out of high school and college. He's a really good player. He's a really good points per minute guy. It's just, do we think they're going to keep giving him the minutes? I think they do. But we don't know. He should get blowout run too. He's a young player. He should get blowout run. Most of the young players get blowout run. So yeah, he's a good play. I'd prefer him on DK though, if you had to pick one.
DK preferred. No, that's fair. And then we have another question here. Do you think Nickeil Alexander-Walker is worth a shot if Graham sits, even if there's all this Pacers value?
I'm not. That's kind of wouldn't be my type of play. You still got Ingram there. You still got Joe Val there. You still got Josh Hart. He's in. So I wouldn't go there personally.
You kind of lean towards those guards from the Pacers.
Yeah, it's just Pacers are just way safer. Just if those guys are out. I don't know. I think you're kind of taking a dart throw that's not really needed. If you go, I mean, if you really like him, that's fine. But just not where I'd go.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, we've all seen what he can do when he's given starter minutes.
Yeah,
but lately, I don't think he hasn't been getting those. So
I don't think he's even start if Graham's out, but we'd see.
Okay, no, that's fair. And then so no more questions in the chat right now. So I'm gonna go back to. Oh, just kidding. One just popped in. What does this one say? Do you think Curry should be played with blowout risk since he's only point guard eligible? So if you're playing as if it's going to be a blowout, would you still plug in Curry, or would you lean towards like the Doncic and the Bookers and the Randalls?
Yeah, I'd for sure first plug in the Lucas, the D-Books, the Randalls of the world. But then, yeah, if you have the money for Curry, that's fine by all means and go to him. He wouldn't be. He's not like a first piece in as well. Like he's a good spend up. If you have the salary, that's how I'd put it. And yeah, I think he plays through the third quarter even if it blows out. Steve Kerr does that. I don't know why he does that, but he does that. So.
No, perfect. Next question here: if we get Brogdon and LeVert out, how would you rank the Pacers' price playing single game? So we kind of ranked them already.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I can go through one more time.
Do it one more time.
Yeah, I'll go through it one more time. So guard wise, I'd put it Jeremy Lamb number 1. Depending on who gets the start between Sykes and Washington, would be 2-3. I think Sykes 2, Washington 3, and then for big men on the Pacers, I would say Brissett number 1 for sure, and then Goga if you have an extra center slot is a good play as well. I still like Brissett better though.
Oh, perfect. Next question we got here: thoughts on Gary Payton for a GPP play?
So I looked at him too. He's not been getting the minutes. The last time he started was the night I think we loaded up on the Warriors value, and that did not end up good. Yeah, he's just very risky. We just don't. Kerr's been running a very odd, like big rotation, and now Kuminga is starting, and I don't think Gary Payton's going to see the floor anymore for not that much at least. So yeah, I'm out on that.
On him. All right. So I got one more question here that I had written down from the beginning. Oh, who do you think your favorite low-owned option is? Low-owned as in the field's probably going to be way under on him.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts there?
I know we were talking about it. It's got to be Jeremy Lamb. I mean, his box score, he hasn't played for a long time. His box scores don't show anything. people kind of forget about him. He's like, oh, he's Jeremy Lamb. Like, he's not good at basketball anymore. But, I mean, if those guys are out, he's just going to mash. We were talking, we love him. He's going to crush. And, yeah, he's my favorite low-owned play. Or lower-owned. I don't know who's going to be low-owned, but he's probably going to be lower-owned.
Yeah, no, and especially with the unknowns going up, you're not going to hear news. I mean, I don't think you're going to hear Pacers news until probably 8, 9 o'clock. So with people not knowing and setting their lineups, and most people set it and forget it. So, no, I agree with that. I agree with all those the Pacers guards as well. People are going to think that Brogdon's got a shot to play and not play them. So any of those guys are just top low owned. But
sorry.
No. What you're going to say?
One more thing you can look at is you're probably gonna it's gonna probably let you, at least on FanDuel, you're probably gonna be able to play Curry along with these mid-price Indiana guys, especially if you play this game script that the Indiana guys set out as top guys. So that should let you get up to Curry along with Luka, D-Book, and Randall. So yeah, I think that's a really good way to approach it. Actually, the more I think
we're
about
going
it,
straight stars and scrubs tonight, basically.
it might end up being that way, and that's we'll see. But I think that's probably a very likely scenario that happens. So.
Oh, perfect. So I don't see any more questions in the chat. So we're going to be here for about another 3 minutes or so, 3-4 minutes.
Cool.
So if there's any more questions, pile them up. In the meantime, this has nothing to do with daily fantasy. Who is your championship pick this year? You're betting on it. If I give you $100 to bet right now, who are you throwing the $100 on?
Wait, for the NBA, right? NBA.
Yeah, yep, NBA.
All right. No biases involved. I gotta say, I like the Suns. They're really good overall, but I mean, man, the Bucks still look really good. I mean, I don't see how anyone stops Giannis, and that's from a new perspective. But man, you saw what the Warriors were without Draymond. If he would get hurt for some reason, I mean, Portis, Giannis, Holiday when he's healthy, that's a scary. Middleton, forgot about him. That's a scary team. I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%.
That's kind of a bad take because they just won, but they've just gotten better. I feel like.
And they're still. I think they're the third favorite odds right now. I think it goes Nets, Warriors, Bucks as of right now.
Yeah, I'm not in on the Nets. I think they're gonna lose.
Yeah, I feel like.
So
I don't know.
Brooklyn fans.
I want to see KD come back and play. He's obviously going to be KD, but I just want to see him at least get back on the court before I say anything about them.
Yeah.
And I was on the Warriors before the season when they were like 13-1. So I mean, that's my championship pick. That's extremely biased because I have a lot of bets placed on them. Yeah. But that's who I think is going to win it.
My guy, I like that. The Warriors, they're a good team. Curry, and now they got Clay back. It should be a very fun ride for them to they can get there. So.
Oh, perfect. So I don't see any more questions. So I'm going to toss, see if Brian wants to come back in and close this out.
What's up, boys? Welcome.
Yeah, there he is. All right, welcome back.
What's up, guys? You guys did a great job. You gave me the easy job. I just got to open the show and close the show. You guys crushed it. Good work. If you guys appreciate it, what Boyle and Nick did today, make sure you give them a follow on Twitter. Boyle's at tboyle24_DFS. Nick is at DFSJHawk. Actually, the best way to talk to them, though, is in our Discord server. So click the join button below this video. That'll get you access to our Discord server, occupyfantasy.com/Discord with more instructions. But Nick's in there every night answering questions before lock, breaking down injuries when they happen live. So you don't want to miss that out. Make sure you join our Discord server. Boys, what'd you think? First live stream of the new year. What'd you guys think?
You go ahead,
I thought we did pretty well. Yeah, I thought it went well. Had some good questions in the chat. Went the whole time, which is always the goal. So
I enjoyed it, man. I was excited for these streams, and I came prepared, and I'm excited to keep running the back, baby.
Absolutely. So I know we got in our 3K subscriber giveaway, we had a lot of people tell us that they wanted more NBA content in 2022. So I think everyone here agrees that we'll continue to do that. So again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the subscribe button right below the video. Get notified when we go live, upload these videos. That'll let you know immediately when an NBA stream is coming. We'll try to start doing this a couple times a week, especially as NFL starts to wind down. Give us that thumbs up. Give us a comment. Let us know how you feel about the video. So for Boyle, for Nick, for the NBA team at Occupy Fantasy, we appreciate you listening. And good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.